has been just over a month since we moved to this new rural location, and each day I am attempting to wake with a calm heart, take pleasure in the simple morning routines, list my gratitudes, and allow the day to unfold naturally with minimal planning. I have not completely isolated myself from the outside world, so there are still emails, text messages and phone calls to make, shopping for our weekly meals to complete, cooking and daily driving of my son to and from his work. But in between there is space, quiet, and far more free time than I have ever had before. This may sound amazing to many people. However, this has always been a discomforting scenario for me that I would avoid at all costs. So I am finding that slowing down after 40 requires a lot of focus, and this seems like a contradiction to finding the ease I was searching for. I had become addicted to doing, overachieving, and always being productive. This sounds like a wonderful addiction compared to some others, but when you dissect the reason behind its existence, you come to understand it is the same as any other addiction. The doing is a distraction from underlying pain and issues, and while this ability to achieve and do has helped me greatly to survive and keep functioning through really tough patches, it can only be sustained for so long. There is always a limit. Well, the mind, body and soul has its limit. I remember going on a beach walk with a girlfriend about 2 or so years ago and having a conversation where I was finally beginning to be truthful with myself and those close, trustworthy people around me, that I was reaching a limit with many aspects of my life. I'll never forget my girlfriend's honest words to me that day. She said I was a people pleaser, very tough on myself, yet let some of the people around me treat me very poorly, including some family. My ego wanted to defend and react to these words and make excuses for it, but I knew this would not help in any way. I truly heard her words, as I knew she was telling me out of love and genuine care for my well-being. There was no ulterior motive or agenda. I went home and reflected on this and started to attempt to make some changes. I started to say no to taking extra work shifts and dropped back a day or two here and there. Began setting boundaries with people more regularly. I received a lot of resistance, pushback, and quite negative personal vitriol directed at me when I began setting boundaries. As painful as it was, I held fast, as I knew that giving in would just lead to prolonged problems, as it always had. Plus, I wasn't honouring my needs or being brave, and what kind of an example was this for my own children? I had no idea what I was in for by creating boundaries though, particularly with 1 or 2 individuals. And little did I realise that the universe, divine, God, fate, karma, whatever you choose to call it, it was about to test every single aspect of my heart, soul, spirit, integrity, commitment and character. I felt that over the course of a year, I was slowly being pushed further and deeper into the depths of darkness. I was beginning to experience this world in black, grey and white tones, no colour, and the true intentions of people around me were becoming crystal clear as false masks lifted. I was looking into Dante's hell in the middle stages of my life. It began Boxing Day of 22 when we found out our 7-year-old family dog Bruce was very ill. We thought he just had an infection, needed some antibiotics, but the vet gave us heartbreaking news and my 2 sons and I had to make a quick decision. I was not prepared at all for this outcome and selfishly wanted to take him home to just have a little more time with him. But the boys talked me through it, and we said our farewells. I cried every night and woke up every day thinking he would be there, laying on the end of my bed. But he wasn't. Just like that, in the blink of an eye, he was gone. Then, early in the morning of August 23, while at work, I received a call from a hospital, giving news that no parent ever wants to hear. My son was in critical condition after being in a motorcycle accident. I dropped to the ground in shock and my heart shattered into a million pieces. He is such a beautiful, special soul. Just let it be me. On the edge of my son's hospital bed in the ICU, I quietly prayed, asking the universe to allow him to live a long, healthy life. And I promised I would devote myself to whatever path was set before me, no matter what that entailed. My eldest son, partner and I did nighttime hospital sleepovers as he came out of the coma and was extremely confused and agitated.
You not answered any of my questions. What the fuck are we doing? Where are we going? What are we doing?
We're both laying here to go to sleep.
To go where?
To sleep.
Why here?
He had spinal and brain injuries, fractured arms, leg and face, nerve damage, collapsed lungs, and damaged artery that fed directly to the brain and heart. Between rehab and his determined nature, though, he miraculously pulled through at rapid speed. And this became our everyday lives in between work, but we were overjoyed to have him alive. Just when I thought we were gaining some reprieve, several months later my beautiful grandmother, who was a mother figure to me, decided it was time to leave this world. I knew it was coming, but it was an enormous hole, as she had always held the secrets and pains tight. And with her gone, I felt the weight of it all rush back and weigh very heavily on me. It was all too much, and I had nothing left to give anyone, including myself. I began having quite severe panic attacks, and then was questioned by certain family, and not in a concerned way, about what was my problem. Why couldn't I smile and be happy? I was just dumbfounded by the question. And then, against my better judgment, based on numerous past experiences, I attempted to be vulnerable and communicate with those particular people about what was emotionally surfacing. Then I was told I was a bad child, a liar, mimicked, and shamed. I came home and recorded the conversation of that one particular day in my journal, so I would never forget, because I always did. I began having intense, vivid nightly dreams, and my grandmother came in through them twice to speak with me. I shared these dreams with my partner straight away as soon as I woke up. I wanted someone else to know her message before it actually happened in reality. She warned me of a situation that was about to come, which I should be prepared for. And this time I needed to stand strong and look after myself. She said I was being loved, protected and guided by souls, which was far greater than anything this world could offer. This gave me strength and hope, as it was time to wake up out of this fog and see the reality of this world for what it truly was. I had to break free of the confusion and gaslighting of the past 40 years and shift into a new reality for the remainder of this earth life. I literally had nothing to lose anymore anyway. It was a complete breakdown of everything so I could break through. And so here we are, in the middle of sugarcane fields, in a cheap little rental home, giving myself the permission to stop doing and just simply be. To observe what arises from my pain body. Listen to what it has to say and hold it safely in my heart before releasing it. It may take some time for all the trauma to shift out of me, and that is okay. I have a safe space and safe, loving people now who will hold the ugly and the beauty without causing any further harm. That is such a blessing and something very new to me, and I am working on also being that safe space for others. My creative flow has also been activated again, and ideas, thoughts and images are bursting forth constantly. It is so exciting and beautiful to feel that again. And I'm going to just go with what happens, let each day unfold, and see where the universe takes me on this new journey. Love and light.